Marshall D. Teach, one of the most mysterious villains in One Piece. In a world where pirates race across the Grand Line to fulfill their dreams and ambitions of becoming the next king of the pirates, clashing with one another to determine who will win and who will fall, Teach was patiently waiting for decades, hiding under Whitebeard's shadow, waiting for the perfect time to reach out and claim his destiny. Teach rose to power and became the first person ever to successfully eat 2 devil fruits without dying, and was the man who was responsible for single-handedly starting the greatest war the world has ever seen. But how did Blackbeard manage to achieve this? And how is he able to go from nothing but a mere pirate to one of the 4 legendary emperors of the sea? Well, in this video I'm going to explain to you how Blackbeard meticulously planned out his entire rise to power and why he is arguably the smartest villain in One Piece. So if you do end up enjoying this video, consider dropping a like and subscribing, and without further ado, let's get into it. Blackbeard's story begins on the Grand Line. As an orphan, he came face to face with the world's strongest man, Whitebeard, and Teach begged him to join his crew, and the naive Whitebeard accepted. And now Teach was officially a member of the Whitebeard Pirates. But having the will of D meant Teach had dreams and ambitions. He wanted more. He needed more. But in order to fulfill his dreams, he needed strength. And what better way to attain strength than to eat a devil fruit? Teach scoured the entire devil fruit encyclopedia until he found the perfect one, the Yummy Yummy no Mi. Teach searched for that Pacific devil fruit for almost 30 years as a Whitebeard pirate. But when all hope seemed to be lost, there standing before him was the Yummy Yummy no Mi. It had been found by his fellow crewmate Thatch. Teach could literally see his dreams coming to life right before his very eyes, and he wasted no time murdering Thatch in cold blood, stealing his devil fruit and fleeing the crew. Teach had now completed the first step of his plan and finally acquired the power to fulfill his ambitions. He later adopted the name Blackbeard and formed his own pirate crew called the Blackbeard Pirates, which comprised of Lafitte, a former policeman and the crew's navigator, Van Augur the sniper, Jesus Burgess the helmsman, and Doc Q the doctor. The Blackbeard Pirates looted and pillaged everywhere they could, eventually stopping at Jaya, where Blackbeard met Monkey D. Luffy, and after hearing that Luffy had a bounty of 100 million berries, Blackbeard was intrigued and went after him in order to claim the bounty on his head, but would be rendered unsuccessful due to the knockup stream destroying his ship. Luffy had been saved by fate, as Blackbeard would have most certainly defeated him right then and there. But Blackbeard now had a plan. He was going to join the 7 warlords of the sea, but the question was, how would he manage to get in? Well, the reason why Luffy's bounty was so high was because he defeated a pirate backed by the world government, Crocodile, the warlord of the sea. And Crocodile's defeat would not only cause the world government a whole lot of trouble, but would also force them to invite a new pirate to become the next warlord of the sea. And who would be better to fill Crocodile's shoes than the man who would deliver the head of the pirate who caused all this trouble in the first place right to the world government's front door? So he came up with a plan and sent Lafitte to Joie to suggest Blackbeard as the next warlord of the sea. And now Blackbeard's plan was set, and when he found out that Luffy had later declared war on the entire world government and destroyed Enies Lobby, a world government base, he knew his plan would work. But just as he was about to set off to go after Luffy, someone had appeared, and this certain someone was not too fond of Blackbeard. Fire Fist Ace, the 2nd Division commander of the Whitebeard Pirates, had arrived and was out for revenge for what Blackbeard had done to the Whitebeard Pirates. Ace wasted few words and immediately clashed with Blackbeard, but what Ace would fail to understand was that he wasn't dealing with any normal pirate, as he was dealing with a man who was literally guided by fate itself. Ace was playing checkers whilst Blackbeard was playing chess. Blackbeard defeated Ace in a battle that would change the course of history, and the world was none the wiser, as the events that had occurred here would not only change history but the entire world itself. But he realized that there was more to this that would meet the eye, as if he handed over Ace instead of Luffy to the world government, not only would he almost be guaranteed the title of warlord, but they would also most certainly hold a public execution, as Ace is one of the most notorious pirates in the world. And Whitebeard, Ace's captain and the strongest man alive, would not just roll over and let that slide, and would definitely make an attempt to save Ace, leading to a war between the Whitebeard Pirates and the entire world government. After realizing this, Blackbeard gave Ace over to the Navy and was immediately accepted into the 7 warlords of the sea, and the world government later announced the public execution of Fire Fist Ace and started preparing for the prospect of war against the Whitebeard Pirates. Everything had happened just like he planned it. But what if I were to tell tell you that this was just the very beginning, as whilst the world government had their hands full with Whitebeard, Blackbeard used all the chaos and commotion that he created in the first place to his own advantage, as he infiltrated the world's most secure prison, Impel Down, using his newly acquired title of Warlord. And with Impel Down receiving no reinforcements, as the Navy had their hands full with Whitebeard, making his way down into hell itself was a cakewalk, until he met someone even more venomous than himself, the warden of the prison, Magellan. And he was not happy that Blackbeard had infiltrated the prison, and instantly defeated the entire Blackbeard pirates in one fell swoop with his extremely overpowered devil fruit. But luckily for Blackbeard, he had managed to make friends in high places, as Shiryu granted them with an antidote, saving their lives. And now Shiryu of the Rain had joined the Blackbeard pirates, but Shiryu alone wouldn't cut it, as there was a reason why Blackbeard came to Impel Down in the first place. And as Blackbeard made his way all the way down to level 6 of Impel Down, he told the most dangerous prisoners in the world to literally fight to the death, and whoever was left standing would be able to join his crew and escape Impel Down. Blackbeard had managed to recruit 4 of the most evil villains in One Piece directly onto his crew: San Juan Wolf, Alvaro Pizarro, Vasco Shot, and Katarina Devon. But his plan was still not complete, as the Blackbeard pirates made their way directly to Marineford with the sole purpose of defeating the man who is known and feared all throughout the seas as the strongest man in the world, Whitebeard. The man who took Blackbeard under his wing as an orphan almost 40 years ago, and one of the 4 emperors of the sea. And it was the perfect chance, as Whitebeard had been severely weakened during the war. Teach wanted to end Whitebeard's reign and take his title as an emperor of the sea, and Whitebeard wanted to avenge his fallen son Tatch, who Teach had brutally killed. And so the two clashed, the strongest man in the world versus a pirate guided by fate itself. But Blackbeard soon realized that even with one foot in the grave, Whitebeard would remain the strongest, as he brutally attacked and almost killed Blackbeard mere moments after fighting him. Whitebeard was pummeling Blackbeard so badly that he had him begging for his life, but then in a desperate attempt to survive, Blackbeard told his entire crew to attack him at once, and they did. And due to Whitebeard already being on death's door, this would be his final waltz. As the Blackbeard pirates jumped in with swords and guns alike, Whitebeard had fallen, and at the hands of his former son no less. But Blackbeard's plan was still not complete, as there was one more thing he needed to do. Blackbeard had been hiding a secret only he knew about, and a secret that would change the laws of devil fruits themselves, as he stole Whitebeard's tremor fruit from his corpse and became the only man in history to eat 2 devil fruits without dying. Blackbeard now had one hand for the darkness and one hand for complete destruction, as it stated that the wielder of the tremor fruit literally had the power to destroy the entire world, and paired with the black abyss of the dark fruit, Blackbeard had become truly strong. Blackbeard had murdered his former crewmate in exchange for power. He then used that power to defeat Whitebeard's 2nd Division Commander Ace, giving him over to the Navy and sparking the greatest war the world has ever seen. He then used the war that he had created as a cover to infiltrate the world's most dangerous prison, where he bolstered his crew with villains so evil that their names had literally been wiped from the history books. And then using his new crew, he went straight to the war after Whitebeard had been severely weakened. And not only did Blackbeard kill Whitebeard, but he also ripped out his devil fruit from his corpse, becoming the first person to ever eat 2 devil fruits. Blackbeard had become a puppet master, pulling the strings of everyone and everything around him, bending the world to his will. His plan had paid off, and now he was one of the most powerful people alive. But what if I were to tell you that his plans were far from over, as Blackbeard used all his knowledge and experience from being a Whitebeard pirate to completely take over Whitebeard's old territory, and quickly rose to the title of Emperor of the Sea. He was officially in the big leagues now, along with Big Mom, Kaido and Shanks. And by taking control of Pirate Island and making it his new base of operations, and even recruiting the former Admiral Kuzan to join his crew, who is one of the most powerful people in the world, Blackbeard's strength continued to rise even further, but it still wasn't enough, as then he used his knowledge of the devil fruits and hunted down powerful devil fruit users, taking their fruits and giving them directly to his crew. The Blackbeard pirates had become quite a force to be reckoned with, and once news came out that the world government had abolished the 7 warlord system, Blackbeard quickly sprung into action, making his way to Amazon Lily to steal Boa Hancock's devil fruit, as she was now no longer under the protection of the world government. But the Marines had also arrived in an attempt to arrest Boa Hancock, as now she was nothing but another pirate. But Blackbeard would then come to realize exactly why the warlords had been abolished, as he came face to face with their successors, the Navy's newest weapons designed and created by the genius Dr. Vegapunk, the Seraphim. And the Navy had deployed both S-Hawk and S-Snake in order to arrest Boa Hancock, and Blackbeard ended up clashing with S-Hawk, who literally sent him flying through a mountain. The Seraphim were no joke, but Blackbeard would end up grabbing a hold of Boa Hancock, but his goal of taking Boa's fruit would be cut short by one single man, as even with the power of the dark fruit, he was no match for the Dark King himself, as Rayleigh, the right-hand man of the King of the Pirates, had arrived to save Boa Hancock. Rayleigh unleashed a blast of Conqueror's Hockey so powerful that he had Blackbeard sweating bullets, as Blackbeard knew just what this one man was capable of, being a former Whitebeard pirate. But Rayleigh later stated that due to his old age, if he and Blackbeard were to actually clash, he would probably lose, and was hoping that he would just buy his bluff. Blackbeard left Amazon Lily totally defeated, but it wasn't all in vain, as he managed to capture Captain Kobe, a Marine, and came up with a plan. He wanted to use Kobe as a bargaining chip in order to make Pirate Island a world government allied nation, with its name being the Blackbeard Kingdom, and once again using world events for his own gain, sprung into action quickly after news came out that both Big Mom and Kaido had fallen in the land of Wano. Blackbeard waited outside Wano as he knew that either Law, Luffy or Kid would show up, and he wanted one of their devil fruits. And lo and behold, he was right, as he came face to face with the Surgeon of Death himself, Trafalgar D. Water Law. But Blackbeard soon realized that Big Mom's defeat was no accident, as he came face to face with the exceptional power of the Op fruit. The battle was intense, as both Blackbeard and Law used their extremely overpowered devil fruits to pulverize one another, but in the end, Law would fall at the hands of Blackbeard, with Beppo quickly eating the rumble ball given to him by Chopper and escaping with his captain before Blackbeard could take his devil fruit. Blackbeard had defeated Law, and the Heart Pirates were no more. And yeah, that's about it for this video on Blackbeard. So if you did end up enjoying this video, consider dropping a like and subscribing. Also, if you're like me and you like all things anime, join my new Discord server. I'll put a link in it in the video description, and tell me down below in the comments if I missed anything or if I got anything wrong, and I'll see you in the next one.